Hey guys, welcome back to Vlogsmas episode 4. And I am your host, Ashley. Follow us on all social media platforms at The Nanny News. And today is Friday, which means Juicy Story Day. Juicy Story Day. It's Juicy Story Day, guys. We got one just for you today. This one is talking about how a family wanted to specifically hire a black male to take care of their children. And the reason why? Well, sit back, relax, and let's dive to it. All right, guys. So this story is taking place in London, and it happened a couple years ago, but it was a very good, juicy story that I have to share with you. We are talking about a male nanny in London, a Manny named Shawn Flores, and he technically has is not a nanny anymore. He was a nanny between the year of 2017 to 2019. So he was a nanny for about a couple years. Um he decided to move on and go with his master's degree and do other things. Now he is a model, a brand consultant, like a social media content creator. He has a couple businesses. He still mentors young black men. So I'm going to link his social media below in the description box. So please make sure you go give him a follow because he technically does have a social media. But he came sat down with Newsweek, which is an article, a news company in our good old London area. And basically, he said that he wanted to become, the thought of him came back in 2018, where he wanted to look after children, and what better way to channel that was to become a remote nanny. And so he hired himself, applied for a website for to become a remote nanny. And to his surprise, he found that a family was looking for somebody that looked just like him. And when I mean that looked just like him, we mean as a black and a male. They wanted both of those things. And so the reason, so Shawn went to this interview and he asked them, why did you choose me compared to any other nanny? Like, why are you choosing a male nanny, a male, first of all, and then being black on top of that, second of all, why are you choosing me over other nannies? And her reasoning why, guys, are y'all ready? Is beyond dope. Okay. This woman explained that when she worked in schools, she noticed that young black teachers or young black men were generally highly respected by students. Now, you guys have to remember, now that is generally. Now, this doesn't happen in almost every school or every state, but it does happen. Okay, so black students, so they were often respected by students. She also noticed that quite often black students were the ones to get the best out of their peers, and I was best out of her peers. And so basically, she wanted a male in her family, a black male in her, to take care of her kid, because she wanted she wanted her child to highly respect this caregiver that he has, and respect that what he does, what he's going to bring to this child's life. And the mother wanted that. And Shawn was completely shocked to hear this. And honestly, when I read it, I was completely shocked too. I mean, basically, she wanted to hire him because she noticed that at her school, black men were generally treated with highly respected. And if you guys kind of think about it, for me, I kind of see that happening as well for me as well, because when I was back in school, like I had a couple black teachers and a couple black male teachers, and they actually were the most, I don't want to say popular teacher, but they were the most popular teacher there was at the school. Just because he was super laid back, had a great personality, was able to connect with us a lot easier, and just was genuinely highly respected by the students. Now I can't say that the same for my female black teachers, which I think is because that teaching in childcare industry is a dominant female industry. So being black already has its own qualities with it. So I think that's why basically the black teacher that I had, which she was absolutely my favorite teacher, she didn't get the most respect from her white peers. And I'm not saying this as being a racist person, guys, but it's really how it happened. But I think that but I did have a couple black male teachers in my school, and everybody loved him. Everybody respected him, gave him like, I mean, everybody just loved him. Like he was a super cool teacher, and he wasn't just like, he wasn't a gym teacher either, y'all. Like he was like our math teacher, and one of them was our science teacher. So I'm talking about like some legit like classes that everybody hates, but everybody loved that teacher. So I kind of see where she's coming from this, and I think it's really dope that she really wanted this for us. So basically, Shawn got hired by this family. You guys, he took this job. And he said that when he started looking after the son, she basically, he noticed that whatever basically whatever she was saying about her son was basically true. That, I mean, he did respect, was like immediately respected by him. They got along very well, and I think it's because it was a male and a male, and I think it was kind of cool for the kid to kind of be like, oh wow, you're taking care of me. And then also on top of that, I mean, he's black, so that makes a big difference. I mean, that makes it like brings a lot more to the table as well. So he said when I started looking after the son, that it was just like kind of like a cycle. He would cycle to their house in London. He would get there more at the evening times, help with the homework. They would usually walk the dog. And then they would get dinner and then do bedtime. That was basically kind of like his weekly schedule. Throughout the few months, his mom kind of noticed that the child has physically changed. She said that he had a very different attitude and his temperament was compared to before. He had notes like he was very aggressive sometimes, especially with their dog. And she noticed that he was not a very aggressive with the dog anymore, and was able to take commands better, and not get such a attitude or a temperament when he gets the word no or may not get his way. And Shawn said that the reason why was because, well, one day that he was messing with the dog, and Shawn basically told the little boy, like, hey, cut it out. Like, I don't like you messing with that dog. And basically he's explained to him that he hurt his feelings when he did not listen to him, or respect him when he was told to do something. And the boy came to him a few minutes later and apologized. And ever since then, like, the parents noticed that he was doing that with them. And so the parents just loved that. I thought it was just really cool. He says that during his time as a nanny, I also realized a lot about myself. I love kids. I noticed that my patience increased. And when I looked at the boy that I was babysitting, he reminded me of a younger version of myself. Now, he did say that he did have some challenges while he did face. People were always surprised that he was a black male. He said that sometimes when he would pick up his kid from school, his little boy would tell him that that's my nanny. Are you sure? And people would ask him, like, are you sure you want to go with him? And he's like, that's my nanny. And a lot of people just didn't really agree or didn't really accept that that was his nanny. So he did say he had to deal with a lot of people like that, but he said it was really nice to be able to kind of go to his job, where his office, which is the home that he worked at, and just feel comfortable and in his own shoes, and be able to walk around and take care of his children, and that his parents highly respect him from that. And so he said that in 2019 he decided to go back to get his master's degree. But he says that he is continuously working with young black children. He was diagnosed with OCD in 2022 and has been writing a lot of articles and surrounding his diagnosis in mental health, dealing with it, how to deal with it when you're own, and then to deal with children as well. So, guys, this story is really good. I thought it was a really interesting story to really share and give a perspective of what this family, how they wanted this black male to be his nanny. And I thought it was dope. I said, man, we are getting somewhere in our industry. Okay, because this article came out in 2022. This just came out in October 23rd of 2022. Now, I'm going to share another article that came out in 2018, so about 3 years later, 3 years before the one article I showed you. And let me show you how it's opposite of what she wanted. They did not want a male figure at all to watch their kids. And the reason being, well, simply because they were just there's just no way. Just simply there she just didn't want no male. She just didn't want it. So I kind of want you guys to see the difference of this story. This one is a 2018, and 3 years later, after all the hard work that we've been doing, all this make noise that our industry has been making, has actually pivot and changed where people actually want males now. And I'm not. We still got a lot of work to do because if you didn't watch our interview with Danny a few yesterday or on Wednesday, you could see that he still deals with discrimination. But we are getting better compared to what we were 3 years ago. Okay, and this article will show you. So this article came out in 2018, and it says why I won't hire a male nanny. Um, she said that she recently put an application in for a child care looking for a nanny, and she said that the response that she got back was this male, and everything that she wanted he agreed to and went above beyond to, like it was perfect. Like she said, it was everything. It was out. She said it sounded like a dream, except he was a man. And she just said that the reason males are role models are important for kids, but while I'm not there to supervise. Basically, she just said that yes, males are very big, very, very, very big a component in children's lives, but she just didn't feel comfortable by leaving them by themselves without her supervision to take care of those kids, even though that male has shown nothing but that he is capable of being able to take care of their kids. So simply that was her reason why, is just because yeah, they're important to kids, but I just don't feel comfortable. And she actually went on just to talk about how she's not anti against men. She loves men. She loves, like, she just loves men, and she doesn't hate men, but she's not comfortable with men watching her children. But don't call her an anti-race, like an anti, I don't even know how to say that word, but anti whatever. But because she does love men. She said it's literally what it says. I love men. Let's get that straight. But she said she actually goes on to talk more about how she has an uncle, and how her children love their uncle, which is her brother. And she asked her brother if and her family members if they would leave their kid with the male, and they all absolutely said no. Even though she says that she knows her children need that male attention, because one, she's a single mom, so she knows that her kids need that, just physically need that. I'm not gonna lie, kids need, it's a hormonal thing that comes off of men and women that we give to kids that makes them feel secure in love. And we got it. We still as adults want that from people. And she says that she noticed that that's what happened with her with her man. Her daughter would be cuddling up with her boyfriend at the time, or her uncle, and she was okay with that, being okay with them, like, cuddling and watching them. But she was not okay for, I guess, a complete stranger, even though he has the capability of taking care of the children, has shown nothing that he's not, and proved to you, done your background checks that you need, but she won't let him watch the children. But she'll let her boyfriend, her nanny's husband, her uncle Ronnie watch her kids. But what's interesting to me was that she asked all three of them if they would be comfortable, and they said in a quick, absolutely not. No, I would never leave my kid with a male. Um, I don't know. Like I just was like, okay. And she kind of compares it. This is how the article ends, which kills me, guys. She says that, I know it sounds kind of sexist. It does, basically it does. But she said if 97% of bears were cuddly and only 3% would rip your face off and eat it, would you still go in an enclosed area of bears? I wouldn't, and I also wouldn't send my kids in there without me there to protect them. How you gonna compare males to a bear? I said, how? I read that. I said, what? I said, oh my god. She literally said 97% of bears were cuddly and only 3% would be ripped off your face. Would you still go into them? I, it's so basically she's saying so 97% of males are very good at taking care of children, but only 3% and only 3% are the pedophiles. Would you put your kid? Would you allow your kid to watch a male watch your kids? I wouldn't. I wouldn't because I'm not there to protect them. That's basically what she's saying. Like, girl, get out of here. That's why I said, like, you see the difference between the article I first shared and this article. This article came out in 2018. The last article came out in 2022. Baby, we have done some improvement because that's not because look, we got a family that is wanting the male, and not even just a male, wanting a black male, and y'all know how that's big, that's huge. But but just 3 years later, earlier, we were talking about how this woman is comparing males to bears. Woo, man, I'm proud of our industry. Like, I get it. Like, we do have so much work to do in this industry when it comes to accepting males and knowing that males are just as dope as us, if not doper. I I just think that we're getting there. It's a start because this is like, I mean, it's night and day. It's literally night and day with these articles. So guys, I'm going to link these articles below. Take a look at them. Read both of them. They're both short articles. One came out in 2018. One came out in 2022. We done some work, y'all. We done making some noises. So my advice to you, y'all, is keep making that noise. Keep sharing the knowledge of childcare. And males, if you are watching this, if you are a male, if your husband is watching this with you, let them know, hey, if you down to watch kids and you really truly want to watch kids, please do not hesitate to sign up to become a nanny, because I'm telling you right now, I guarantee you might be making more money than us women. Okay? Just saying. Just saying. But thanks, guys, so much for tuning in for Vlogmas episode 4. We will see you guys all for Vlogmas episode 5 on Monday for our announcements episode. In the meantime, guys, if you have an announcement, have an event, have something coming up for the month of December or even the month of January, send me a DM, y'all, on Instagram so I can add you to my episode. I have been scrolling through, like always, trying to save as many events as I can, but I need y'all's help, like always. So tag me in all the events that you have placed. And we'll see you guys on Monday. Have an amazing weekend. Love y'all.